Right everybody, how we all going today? A wee bit of an experiment at GRASSMEN HQ. Jonny has come along to basically demo a different type of diet feeder. Yeah. Jonny, who are you? What is this diet feeder and why are you here?
I'm Jonny McMullan from McMullan Agri down Armoy, County Antrim. We've just been going over a year. We've seen this machine here. It was just kind of a bit of luck that we kind of fell in with this thing, because at home ourselves we were wanting to chop up our silage, but we were always kind of bothered with tight passages and things, and somewhere where a conventional diet feeder probably want to go, and this thing kind of answered our questions. Certainly with tight passages and things, this thing, wherever a tractor will go, this will go, and plus you're getting the advantage of getting a bale chop, and we work with primarily bales at home. And
break it down to us. What is it?
It's a mini diet feeder as such that hooks onto the 3-point linkage of the tractor. That's what it is, and it certainly leaves manoeuvrability and things like that there a lot better. So it does, it's easier to work around yards and things, you know.
And what size is this one here that you've brought up to us today?
This is the biggest one they do. This is the 2.6 metre wide one, so she'll hold 3 cubic metres. So in layman's terms, about a bale and a half of silage. So like we've 50-60 cows at home, so that full would be able to feed our cows twice a day. You know, we're going twice a day with that mix.
And she can handle the round bale, no problem?
That's probably the most asked question we get, will she work with round bales? And if you've seen this thing working genuinely, she's an impressive bit of kit. Like people say, do you need to break up the bale? You can if you wish, but she will work with the bale. You can just slide it in there, and with the 2 ogres, she's able to do a really, really good job of mixing it.
Well, I mean, the next obvious question is, on the 3-point linkage, that means the tractor's having to bear the full weight of it. What sort of tractor do we need on it now? Today we've tried it on Farmer Gareth's own diet feeding tractor, which is his little 120 4-cylinder turbo. It's been no problem to her.
It's been no problem to her, certainly. It's the same principle. If you've got plenty of weight in the back, you need plenty of weight in the front. That's kind of up to the man himself then how sensible he wants to be with that. But certainly this biggest one now, once she's full, you've got over 2 tonne in the arms, so you need some hefty in the front, you know. The most popular one is actually the 2.2 metre one, which is 2 sizes down for this one. She'll work with a round bale still, and you'll still have a bit of room for, say, a bale or a bit of straw or your mealer stuff inside it, and you can work with a smaller tractor again then, you know.
Well, what we noticed was now, we pulled a bale out there, and it was actually the first bale that we opened that was the clear plastic was used on, so there was a little bit of an interest. Now, it was reasonably soft grass at the time it was baled. We remember the average weight of those bales at that time was about 800 to 850 kilos out of that field. It was actually no problem to her, but I tell you what, had they basically got her shut off mixing quick, she was fit to chop it fast.
That's the impressive thing about it. It's the speed of the mix as well. With the 2 ogres working in such a confined space all the time, she's getting the full whack of chopping and chopping and chopping all the time. So there is actually space for another set of blades on the ogres, but she does such a good job of already as she is that you wouldn't need it.
Horsepower requirements, I don't think we need the 120 with regards to horsepower, but you know, with that heavy bale in her now, she knows it's in her, but if we could weigh her down, would less horse do? Oh,
certainly less horsepower do. They advise 80 horsepower is all she really needs to run it. Again, with the twin ogres, she's making the job easier for herself, as opposed to a single ogre having to swell that the whole way around, where you need slightly higher horsepower and it would kill the revs in the tractor.
Gary has had a play and put a couple of bales through it. We actually videoed him putting the very first 2 bales through it, and he's feeding some of the calves over there. So, but that's not the only machine you brought us. In actual fact, Farmer Gareth had been in touch with you as well about another machine you do, and it just so happened to be we had been chatting. What else have you brought us?
Well, VDW is the name of the company. They're a Belgian company. We took them on for Northern Ireland. It was just coincidence Gareth rang about the straw blower as well. So she's a twin paddle straw blower that works with round bales and square bales as well. She's an impressive bit of kit as well.
So, like, unlike some of the other blowers we have looked at, and straw choppers and blowers we've looked at before, she will work with any type of bale if you can get it onto the platform, if that's what you want to call it. So she'll work with 8x4x4 down to rounds or whatever. So what else do you guys do, apart from these diet feeders and straw blowers?
Our bread and butter was second-hand tractors. Between my uncle and myself, I'm fairly new to the whole thing, but my uncle Lawrence is almost 20 years kind of selling second-hand tractors around the country, and we've kind of went out on our own this year, and we've done all right, and we're trying to stick at it.
You say you're new to this here now. You trying to say you're wet behind the ears or what?
A bit wet behind the ears, you can call it what you want. Before this I was actually a primary school teacher, believe it or not, and now I'm getting taught by other folk. So,
this year just changed that, and I think this is absolutely brilliant, to be honest with you, Jonny. I know it's a wee step a wee bit away from the product, but you know, COVID come in, lockdown, restrictions all come in, all of a sudden you had a bit more free time, you get your teeth into this, and the passion was always agriculture and farming, and you've realised, you know what, I can do this.
Well, that's exactly,
and now you're flat out at it, and you've respectfully you've given up the teaching for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. It was at the time around the lockdown and it happened that Lawrence and Mountain David asked me to come up and give them a hand while they get a bit busier, and I kind of went from there, and it's something I really enjoyed getting my teeth stuck into, and hopefully somewhere it can take me in the future as well and build on it.
You can take the boy out of the country.
That's it.
But you cannot take the country out of the boy, huh? Well, look, thanks very much for coming up. We've actually really enjoyed this here. We have a couple of other tractors in the barn. We didn't want to just go mad and throw it in the likes of the 1455 or the 7810. We wanted to really demonstrate that the smaller tractor can handle it. Don't know how small we can go now. The Dutz has no weights in the front. That might be a non-starter. But we can try. There seems to be a good skid pan at the bottom. She'll only go up so far.
That's it.
But look, thanks very much. And look, if anyone wants to, they can get in touch with you. Your website's on there, whatever, if they want to take a wee look at that. Because it is novel, it is different. And there's a lot of guys without farms. There's a lot of guys that, you know, are doing a lot of moving through the winter between telehandlers and diet feeders between farms and things. That would be an ideal mix on a smallish tractor sitting maybe somewhere with a few bales stacked up or whatever.
Well, that's it. It's got lots of selling points, you know, between tight pastures, men with out farms, men with only round bales that are still wanting to chop their silage, you know, and mix in your meal and your minerals all in. There's plenty of selling points for it, you know.